Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 55 and today we are starting things off on my beautiful geometric island. I don't mean to sound, at the risk of repeating myself, okay? It's so cool looking. It's so cool looking. I have a beaming smile on my face. Anyway, I'm going to try my best to not talk about this island every single episode for the rest of this season. I want to look at this thing because, as you can see, it's very dark. Very dark indeed. We need to do something about that, and I have no clue what to do. However, end rods seems like the best potential option. So I'm going to mess around with a few ideas here. Now, I've just thought, does anyone actually sell end rods? I don't know if they do. Okay, yeah, that's nothing. This place also doesn't sell them. I don't really know what to say. Alright, apparently No, that's Iskall is really asking for donations, especially when you're stood that. Look, he makes himself look very poor, right? Only iron armor. Look at him. Look at him. Look how rich he looks. Oh, for goodness sake! Look, here he comes. Right, I call him out for it, and look. Alright, okay, I'm sure I can find something to donate. I'm currently haggling with Iskall to try and get end rods. He's asking for 200 diamonds and then 100 diamonds for one stack of end rods. I've offered him 2 diamonds and 1 diamond. And what's he gonna go for? 85 diamonds! Is he crazy? Anyway, donations have been made. Subscribe to Mumbo, of course. Diorite, I'm sure he'll love that. And also, I think 6 diamonds is where we've ended up. He tried to be sneaky and get me with 6 factorial, which would be 720 diamonds, but I cottoned on. So I think 6, by the sounds of things, is what we're going for. I mean, what do I even say? What do I even say to this guy? He's so ridiculous. He's so ridiculous. I'll be totally honest, I hadn't actually realised quite how cheap the end rods actually are. For some reason, I thought they involved a bunch more, but no, they're both farmable items. Chorus fruit and also the blaze rods. So maybe, this is a business opportunity for us. This is totally not the plan. This was not the plan for today's Hermitcraft episode. But I'm going to try and find a blaze spawner, and I think we should make some form of blaze farm here. Now, this blaze farm is going to be a little bit different from any blaze farm I've ever built before because it's designed by Nembom, and as always, Nembom is just a genius when it comes to game mechanics, and he's worked out a way to get blaze to just pathfind their way out of the farm. So look, you see these blaze spawn, they land down at the bottom, and then soon enough, they will actually just begin wandering down into the trap. And this is for a number of reasons that Nembom explains incredibly well in his video. I'd highly suggest checking it out. I'll put a link to that one down in the description. But yeah, this specific design is the one that we're going to be constructing because this is the most efficient design for a single blaze spawner. And to answer any questions, there's nothing on the inside of this thing. This is all just solid blocks. And also, this is the size of the space that we need to clear out around the blaze spawner to actually make it function. So all of this area here has to be empty of solid blocks. Oh. What have I managed to do here? So all of my cacti from the farm have just been despawning, unless... That was strange as well. Okay, yeah, let's fix this real quick. That has now been fixed, so we are actually getting cacti into our storage system. I can't believe I didn't even notice that. But anyway, I've put the feelers out, and here is our blaze farm. Or at least, here is our future blaze farm. It's just off the edge of Biffa's nether tunnel. It's sat just in that area there. I don't know if you can quite see it. It's behind those fences. In fact, we even have a blaze there. I don't think he's spawned from the blaze spawner, though, because I think we're a little bit too far away. But this is going to be our spot. So I guess the first thing that I've got to do is I've actually got to block it all off. so that no blaze actually spawn, and I have to take out all the blocks around it, but I have to say, there's not actually that many blocks around it. This is going to be really easy. Right, so stage 1, I have to block off this thing, and it's a little bit precarious because I don't actually have... I have absolutely no form of fire resistance potions, but I think if I get the entire area stone bricked off 3 high... all around the spawner, then we should be okay, I think. I don't know. Things are getting a tiny bit hectic though, I'll be totally honest. I'm just trying my best not to panic, and I'm just going to keep placing blocks as if nothing's happening. Oh my word! That's probably the luckiest I've ever been. Wow. I almost got totally destroyed there. Elytra didn't activate, got hit off. I got hit off by Blaze. I almost landed in lava. I landed on that block. Oh. Okay, after some very, very hairy situations, I think I've blocked off the entire spawner. So the spawner's in the middle there somewhere, and these should be the only spawnable locations for Blaze, and obviously I've now filled those in with blocks, so now no Blaze are spawning, which means that the stressful bit should now be over. Okay. Now it's time to wipe out all of these blocks around it. And as I say, there's not actually that many. But I thought it would be smart before I did that to actually lay some form of foundation to this thing. Because the number of times my Elytra really aren't working at the minute. There's quite a lot of people on the server, so I cannot rely on them to activate when I want them to. So I've laid a bunch of half slabs down at the bottom here, and this also gives us a rough idea as to how many blocks we actually need to remove, which, as I said earlier on, really isn't that many. It's just this part of the structure, this tiny edge of the structure. Oh, and that's it. That really is it. Like this little bit of soul sand here. Yeah, easy peasy. Actually, I want to talk about something real quick. Look, this guy's going to join me. Okay, we're going to talk about something real quick. Elytra is activating, okay, because at the start of the season, you know, the lag on the server was pretty bad. I think it's due to the number of entities on the server. It's struggling a little bit, and that means that the Elytra, they don't activate, and that's still, unfortunately, the case. Sometimes Elytra don't activate. It's not my fault. At the start of the season, it was people saying down in the comment section that it's because I have food in my offhand. Totally not the case, okay, and I proved that in an episode. Now, people have changed their tune after I proved them wrong and said that it's because I spam the spacebar to get the Elytra to activate, and it's essentially activating and then deactivating the Elytra a bunch of times. It's so provably wrong. Like, just go into a single player world yourselves, okay, people that are commenting this. Jump off of a cliff with Elytra and spam the spacebar. You'll notice that the Elytra activate and then stay activated. You know what? I'm going to do it myself because I know that the people that are commenting this aren't going to bother trying it. All right, so here we are. Elytra and jump. Look, I'm spamming. I'm spamming right now and I seem to be flying pretty well. So please, just for once, accept the fact that this isn't me doing something silly, okay? There is nothing that I can do to make my Elytra activate better. There's nothing that I can do. It's just, unfortunately, it's the situation that we're in when there's lots of people on the server. Elytra just don't tend to activate for those of us who are in the UK because we're far away from the server location. Leave it at that. Sorry, I'll be the first to admit that I got a little bit heated there, but it's so frustrating reading some of those comments over and over again. Anyway, these are the final bits of nether brick. This is now our fully open area where things can begin to happen, and I'm hoping... That is a half slab. Yeah, it is. How did they get there then? Oh my word, this is going to be a problem. So the next thing that I wanted to do was actually build up the chamber that these blazes are going to be chilling out in, but unfortunately I have now completely run out of glass, which means that we're going to have to run back to the base. And I've also been thinking, do I build up glass all the way around this thing, or do I just leave it out in the open? I actually think leave it out in the open, to be honest with you. I don't think there's anyone that's going to mess with this area, especially as we've laid out all those stone bricks. I think it's quite clear that nothing should really be constructed here. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Can I suggest a change to Mojang? I actually think that Riptide 3 should automatically activate Elytra if the player is wearing them as well, because that would make it really, really useful. Like, more useful than it currently is. Alright, so now that the actual chamber is all in place and our blaze are going to be captured inside of something, I now need to start working out A, what side our big block is going to be going on, B, what block I'm actually going to be making it out of, and C, if there's anything extra that I really need to do, or if it really is that simple. I think the plan is that I'm going to use cobblestone on the inside. So all of the internal blocks are going to be created out of cobblestone because, I mean, it's ugly and I seem to have tons upon tons of the stuff. So we're going to put all of that on the inside, and then on the outside, I guess we'll do like an outer edge of stone bricks just to make things a tiny bit prettier than they otherwise would be. Another very close call there. Not to do with blazes this time. I'm sure you will see as we make our way back to the thing. Have I lost my farm? Okay, good. Okay, I can... Yeah. A ghast did that. And I probably flew about 300 blocks trying to activate my Elytra, doing that thing where I'm dropping out the sky, gradually getting closer to that lava. It was not a fun time. This is definitely one of the weirdest looking farms I've ever built in Minecraft. I mean, if you were to ask me, if you were to show me a picture of this, like a screenshot of this, and ask me what it was, I don't think farm would be high on my list of answers. I mean, look at this thing. So we literally just have a glass chamber and then a block. It doesn't even make any sense. It literally makes no sense whatsoever. But anyway, that is like the main structure constructed. Now it's time to actually start work on some of the other bits and pieces. First thing that we're going to need is trapdoors. That's way more than I needed. That's so much more than I actually was necessary. But anyway, we need comparators. We actually need more comparators than that. So I have to gather up some of those and some sticky pistons so that we can crush these blaze. This is the only piece of redstone in the entire build. And that should be it. So if we just wipe out all of these, then I think we now have a functioning farm. So we just need to make sure that none of these are solid blocks. But that right there is our crusher. So that piston is extended, that'll be crushing our blaze, and then when that piston retracts eventually, then they will be down to 1 heart and we will be able to kill them. Oh, and this lever right here, this just shuts off the ability for blaze to drop down. So if we just flick this, that will obviously stop any blaze from dropping into the chamber. Then we flick it again and that opens it up. So really, really nice and simple. Now this guy was giving me some grief, so I thought it would be a good idea to actually create a kind of blaze ghast proof chamber that we can do all of this in, because, you know, we don't want to be disturbed by other blaze, and we certainly don't want to be disturbed by ghasts, because this thing's made out of glass. So if a ghast just blasted into this, then obviously it would be very difficult to rebuild with tons and tons of blaze spawning. That would definitely be a bit of an issue. Anyway, I would say we are now good to go with this thing, so I'm going to look around for any ghasts, because I really don't want our mob cage to actually be destroyed. And, yep. Yep, the mob cage is definitely working. Did you see how fast that guy spawned? Okay, yeah, I mean, this is going to be awful, isn't it, really? Me trying to take out... You're not even part of the mob cage, dude! Calm it down over there! Okay, I'm going to dig myself into this hole. I'll be the first to admit that having some form of bow would have been a wise idea. Don't go up! Don't go up! No, that's cheating. You can't go up like that. Are you serious? Yeah, I chose... yeah. It doesn't make me less of a man for flying away from my troubles, okay? Alright, I just want to make that very clear that real heroes fly away on regular occasions. Regularly they fly away from a fight. In fact, I would argue that real heroes have flown away on multiple occasions. Yeah, they're often running away from fights all the time. 3 times even. Sometimes even 3. Finally, we actually managed to get this thing constructed. Now we see if it works. I don't know about you guys, but it looks like it does. So we've got some blaze chilling out down at the bottom here. We've got a few... Oh, no. I forgot to put the block on top of that mob spawner. 4 times is... Yeah, that's okay too. Yeah, it's fine. Now, if you're wondering about these guys that are chilling here, as you just saw, they're not included in the cap of this mob cage. Okay, so this mob cage, no, it doesn't care. Doesn't care about these mobs here because they've dropped out of the mob cage recognition zone. As you can see, I mean, this thing is doing a fantastic job, and then eventually these guys begin to pathfind in, and I imagine we must be getting towards the limit now. You know what, I might actually try this thing out. So let's lock this thing off. I'm gonna hit this button. Okay, that's a good sound. That means that our blaze are actually taking damage. Then eventually this piston will retract. And I get lots and lots of XP. Hadn't even thought about the fact that this is an XP farm. And I also get myself a bunch of blaze rods. Actually quite a large quantity of blaze rods. Whoa, this is forced. So that means that straight away we've almost got 4 stacks of end rods right there. These are like the best light source ever. Why have I never used these before, really? So now what I'm going to do is a 1 hour blaze killing time lapse, I guess. I want you to let me know down in the comment section how many stacks of blaze rods you think I'm going to get. I have absolutely no idea. I have no clue. In this super fast time lapse chat, I want to talk to you about the deal film that we filmed with Chris and Jack. Chris being Zedaf from the Hermitcraft server. I've spoken about this a little bit in Hermitcraft episodes, but it is now released. It actually released last week. I haven't had the opportunity to talk about it just yet, but it has released, and the response so far has been fantastic. Thank you ever so much for all the kind words. I think it's sitting at almost 100,000 views at the minute as well, which is crazy. So the film is actually on my filming channel. I'll put a link to that one down in the description, and then the behind the scenes is on Chris and Jack's YouTube channel. So if you want to see all of the antics that went into it, I'd highly suggest checking that out as well, and subscribing to Chris and Jack. If you appreciate good old-fashioned British humour, then you will absolutely love their videos. It has a direct line to my funny bone. It was actually quite difficult to film because I kept laughing. I kept laughing. It was really difficult to actually stay on top of the filming side of things because I was laughing too much. So that's a good problem to have when you're filming a comedy short. So as I say, thank you so much for all the kind words, and thank you also Chris and Jack for working with us on this one. It was absolutely awesome, and it was just it was so much fun filming a narrative project, so I can't wait to do more stuff like that in the future. So now what I'm going to do is a 1 hour blaze killing time lapse, I guess. I want you to let me know down in the comment section how many stacks of blaze rods you think I'm going to get. I have absolutely no idea. I have no clue. Place your bets, place your bets, place your bets, and this is what we managed to get. So that is almost 18 stacks of blaze rods, which is, I don't know what I was expecting. I was probably expecting a full chest for some reason, so I'm not disappointed because this is still awesome. And if you think about it, that is, so 18, 36, that is then 62 stacks of end rods. Have I got that right? I think that would be 62 stacks of end rods. So I think we're okay for end rods for the time being. But yeah, this farm is doing great. And as you can see, all of the blaze, they make their way out really, really easily. I mean, there's no piston mechanics or anything like that going on. These guys are literally just finding their own way into the trap. Look how fast it works. And it functions. Functions perfectly. Oh, and also I got a blaze head, which is pretty sweet. That's really not something I was expecting, especially because there's such a low chance of getting one, I seem to remember. Okay, so what essentially just happened there is that I Elytra'd up to the thing, my Elytra then deactivated, and I just fell into the farm and all of the blaze. And there was probably about 8 or 9 blaze just sat in the chamber, just rose up and just started blasting me. I'm out of here again. Now, I've actually been thinking it's probably not a bad idea to actually get this farm signposted, because I'm sure there's going to be other hermits that wouldn't mind a handful of blaze rods or potentially end rods as well. And although I might potentially start selling end rods in the future, I think locking off my farm and stopping the community being able to use it, I don't really like the sound of that. So I think I'm going to open it up to the public, and I'm going to make sure that people can find it in the Nether Hub. That should hopefully cover it. So we've got a sign actually at the blaze farm. We've also got blaze signs here. We've got a blaze sign next to my portal. And we have a little sign over by that walkway there. Nice and simple. And I've grabbed all of the drops too. So that's all good. Right, let's actually craft up some end rods. This has been the longest journey to get to a point where I can actually light up that build. I wouldn't mind actually knowing down in the comment section how much you think I should charge for end rods. I was thinking maybe a diamond a stack. I mean, they aren't actually, they are maybe a little bit, maybe a tiny bit less than that. But then again, I have to buy the chorus fruit right now, unless of course I make a chorus plant farm. That's probably the wiser move. And I'm guessing a chorus plant farm probably just involves flying machines. It's probably another one of those. What do we think to this? Just having those little poles there. I actually think that might just do the trick, you know. I wonder if it's lights up enough. That's the only thing that I am wondering. This is where mobs begin to come down and just start killing me. Oh yeah, of course. So not only do we have to light up these, but there's also these massive sections up here that don't have any light either. That looks pretty cool. I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to put that all over the building, for sure. So there we go. That is this build all fully lit up. I think now I'm just going to quickly run around. And I guess I should probably actually, let's see. Yeah, this has got a really low light level. I guess we could have little guys chilling out on each of these corners, maybe? I kind of don't want them... Yeah, so that's an 8 light level. Okay, yeah, we're all fine there. Oh no, it does drop down a little bit too low there. But then... if we were to put this here... No, it still drops down to 6 and even 5. Thing is, I don't want to clutter up the build too much with these end rods. That's the only thing. Because although they are really pretty, and I really, really like, especially the new texture without the purple, I think they're really, really nice blocks. I just think that I don't want it to look like a big end roddy mess. But I would say that this actually does the trick. So little sea lanterns on these spots here, then obviously the end rods going around. That means that this should all be spawn proof. And let's see, it's now getting dark, so we should be able to see this thing fully lit up. And boom, there it is. That's what this build is all about. Look at this city. Man, this is coming together so nicely. And also, you know, having all these end rods now is making me think that maybe we should swap out some of the things. For example, all the torches. We should really swap those out for end rods, especially because we now have so many. They're actually cheaper to get than torches. I feel like at some point in the near future we should go around the base and actually replace a lot of the light sources and even light up this area here with some end rods, just to, you know, add a level of fit and finish to the base. But I'm feeling really good about it. And one thing actually that I'm going to end this episode on is I read a comment the other day that I actually found really interesting, talking about my base. So I said in the previous video that it was going to be really upsetting covering up this beautiful terraforming here, okay? Because I absolutely love this part. This part is absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favorite parts of all the terraforming, and I was saying that it would be a shame to cover it up. And someone said, "Well, dude, you don't have to cover it up." Something along those lines. Like it was actually quite an insightful comment. But if I was just to compress it down, it basically said, "Dude, you don't have to cover it up." And I suddenly thought to myself, you know what? I don't have to cover it up. Like, what I could totally do is I could have the builds lead round to this point on both sides and then have this open, and if it looks strange and if it looks unfinished, then we could even build up like a dock or build some boats out there. Just make it obvious that we've wanted this place to be left open. But I really like that idea. You know, completely surrounding the island probably isn't that smart, whereas leaving just a little gap I think will look really beautiful. Having it tuck in like this, it's going to look gorgeous. It's going to look seriously, seriously cool. So I like that plan. Thank you to the person that suggested it down in the comment section. Yeah, you've completely changed my goals for the base, which is brilliant. That's why these comments are so handy, because of course, you know, sometimes you guys come up with some really, really smart ideas. But anyway, I think that's about all I've got time for today. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and the deal film, it's released. Link will be on the end screen. You know what to do.